You got your business off the ground, you cleared your first few $100,000, but you're not growing and you're not getting the recognition you know you deserve, then this video is for you. You try better marketing campaigns, more ads, new offers, you try optimizing your funnel. None of those things work and you still stuck. The problem isn't your products, it's definitely not your effort. The real problem is that your business isn't recognizable enough. Customers don't crave the products or the services you have. It's simply just not remarkable. Bottom line, you have no brand. We're now in the age of AI, where it's much easier for anybody to enter the game. A generic competitor can come in and copy your business word for word, style for style, color for color, and possibly wipe you out of the market. And that's why taste and brand are the only competitive moat. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact framework I use for my business, Good Part and Company, to fix that exact problem so that I never had to worry about competition again. I'm Quintel, and I love transforming businesses into brands that are recognizable and profitable. I scaled my own juice bar to 2 locations in 9 months. One of them happened to be the first ever juice bar and wellness cafe at Johns Hopkins University. And in this video, I'm about to give you the full playbook I used to hit my first 6 figures in my business, how I doubled that in 12 months and created a brand that the city loved that helped me scale it up to $700,000 in revenue in my partnership with Johns Hopkins University. So let's get into it. Now look, if you feel stuck in your business, I totally get it because I hit that wall too. And that's because we tend to do the things that we know best in our business, especially if they're working. They're bringing in a couple dollars, they're keeping the business safe and getting by. But safety is the biggest risk you can take in your business. You can stay in your lane and hustle harder and do all the same things you hear everybody else doing, and that's going to get you the same mediocre results that everybody else is getting. Generic, static results with no growth. And we all know in business, if you're not growing, you're dying. If your business doesn't grow, you're going to lose your best employees. You won't be able to attract employees as good as them. No A players, no top tier talent on your team. And even worse, those high-paying clients, those repeat customers, they won't return to your business, they won't refer you, and they'll go somewhere else. And after 5 years in business with my wellness brand and my juice bars, I realized you can fix this with one thing, and I like to call it having a good taste standard. And when I'm talking about good taste, I'm not just talking about fancy aesthetics or brand colors or logos and design. I'm talking about taste as a strategy that's implemented from the top to the bottom, or from internally within your business culture, externally to how you treat and how you engage with your customers. And when you set and demonstrate a good taste standard in your business, this is what happens. You go from stagnant to growing. You go from generic to premium, right? You become the first recommendation in the eyes of your clients and your customers. You go from mediocre to remarkable. This is exactly where you want to be. You want to be who people talk about in your niche, in your industry, in your region, in your market. And because you have a good taste standard, because people want to come to you first, you get to control the way you work your business. You get to control demand and supply. And that takes you from having thin margins to having high margins. And that's where we all want to be in our business. And you can get that by demonstrating a good taste standard. And as you can see here, taste is an acronym. So in the rest of this video, I'm going to break down each part of my good taste standard for you. And the first T is all about trust. This is the entry point for an audience into your business. You have to start to establish trust. The problem most businesses make today is the opportunity for you. Most businesses want to hide behind their logo or corporate branding, or even worse, they want to hide behind their certification and degrees or their passion. They think that's what's supposed to get people into their business. All of those things are good. They might even be necessary, but they are the bare minimum. They don't build trust fast. What really builds trust is human connection, because people like people. Now, everybody's going to tell you that to build this connection, you need personal branding. And personal branding is cool. It's good and you do need it. But that's not what I'm going to tell you to do. What I want you to do is think more about founder-led branding and positioning. Prime example, Steve Jobs. We all know how big and important Steve Jobs is and was to Apple. Some people say he founded a billion-dollar company twice, right? It's the same company. He got booted out of it, but they had to bring him back so they can actually grow it, because nobody was going to stand up, represent, and connect like Steve Jobs did for Apple. We all know about his rollout, his presentation for the iPhone, the iPod, 1,000 songs in your pocket, the MacBook Air in the envelope. That's because he was never scared to get out there and show up for people about his brand, his company, and his products. This wasn't about personal branding. This wasn't, yeah, he had a uniform, but he was never talking about his black turtleneck and his New Balance. What he was doing was leading his company as a founder, and all of the parts of who he was reflected in his business. He made himself a lead asset so that other people could connect to him and thereby to his business. Because people don't just buy what they think is the best. They want to buy their favorite. They want to buy their preference. And they prefer to buy from businesses and brands that they have a connection with. So let me give you quick examples of how I built trust in my business, and it might get things firing off for you. Check it out. So building a strong brand starts with the founder, and it's internal and it goes outward, right? So you can't treat your customers better than you treat your employees. If you are a founder, if you are a leader in your business, your employees are your first customers. That's who you have to serve first. In this example, this is the brand background, vision, and company culture. Anybody that wanted to work in my juice bar had to watch this video. It was a way to filter through people who want to take shortcuts, but it was also to get them acclimated into the story of Good Part & Company. So I gave them the background. Anybody that applied, they could scan the QR code and it's going to take them to this video. They have to watch this video, and the very next thing it's going to do is send them to this form. Now the form is actually in the description here. That lets me know if they follow directions. If they don't finish the form, then they disqualify themselves for being hired. And it's just a juice bar. Yes, it's just food and beverage, but we have a good taste standard. Okay, so the questions in this form, some of them are deep inside this video. And if they didn't answer it, I know that they didn't watch the video. If they didn't watch the video, they're not going to make a good fit because they're not really good at following directions. And simple directions lead to success, especially in food and beverage. And so that's what I had to qualify for. I had to set that standard, and that helped me build trust. Like, hey, I'm already taking these steps to inform you. You already showed me that you're willing to take these steps. Then that video on that form, that was how I started to build trust internally. But externally with the customers, I did things like live in-person masterclasses or online virtual live streams, breaking down things going on in the business, plant-based nutrition, items on the menu, so they can get the full benefit and understanding of why it's good to get juice here, what kind of juice we have, how it's good to help them accomplish whatever health goals they have in their life. So you have different ways that you develop trust for your business so it can be branded a certain way. The next part is all about building and developing assets in your business. The challenge around building assets as a founder-led brand is that you are often very deep in the weeds, so far into the details of your business that you don't even see all of the value that you created through your processes, through your intellect, through your IP, just through your eye, like just being able to see what's going on in the business landscape. So you got to take time to zoom out, look at everything you got going on, and start seeing where you can reflect and realize like, oh, I developed some assets here. I have some IP. I got some special processes. So let's break it down. The assets for your business are going to be things like signature workflows, signature processes. You might have signature logos and branding, signature colorways. You may have manufactured a special product. You got a signature recipe, a signature sauce. These things are assets within your business. You can coin certain terms. You can get certain patents depending on what your industry is. But this is what assets look like for your business. You can have internal assets like employee handbooks and guides and very unique processes, 1, 2, 3s for people to do. That's how you start to develop assets in your business. Now, here's a quick story on branding and developing assets. I was hiring someone to come in and help with my juicing process. So I hired a guy, and he said that we shouldn't have uniforms because this business should feel more local and more intimate and smaller. And I didn't agree, clearly, because not only did I have aprons, I also had multiple shirts. We have shirts in different colors that fit the color palette, right? We had different types of hats. We got branded aprons. All of these things really help our business stand out. That's what actually made it cozy. That's what made it welcoming. That's what made it feel safe. It lent itself to trust because everybody was uniform. The colors popped. The employees knew that they didn't have to mess up their own clothes at the juice bar. But not only that, it became an asset because the customers got so used to seeing it and they liked it and they enjoyed it that they started to say, hey, what's up with those shirts? Can I get one of those? Now it led to an asset of us being able to develop and design branded merchandise. And now customers are buying merchandise and feeling proud to represent the brand outside of the juice bar. Now, another asset that I developed was a signature video series, similar to what you're watching right now. For my juice bar, what I did was I broke down my full menu of juices and juice cleanses. This is an evergreen video series. If you buy a juice cleanse, you can scan the QR code and get details on every juice that you have in your juice cleanse in this video series. If you come into business, you can scan the QR code and actually see it. If you go to the website and you're curious about doing the juice cleanse and you don't know what to do, here is the video series. So you can develop something like this for your business. around your signature menu items, around your signature offer, your signature process. Break it all down and then make it a signature evergreen asset that people can revisit and learn more about your business. Compounding assets in your business is really going to tighten it up. It's going to elevate your brand positioning. But not only that, it's going to give you a ton of confidence in the market. Whether you're at a networking event, you're telling somebody about your business, you can instantly shoot them some of these digital assets. It don't cost you anything extra to replicate it. It don't cost you anything to send them a link to your social media page, to a landing page, to a video series. These type of things solidify your premium positioning, and premium positioning leads to better margins, and now your business is actually growing. Now this next step leads to real longevity. You gotta have systems in your business. When you have systems in your business, you can deliver consistently, and customers and clients are going to really start to rely on your brand for whatever the result is that you want, because you know how to come through like a pro. Like they say, amateurs do it until they get it right. Pros do it until they can't get it wrong. And that's what systems allow you to do. They allow you to do something over and over and over again so that you are incredibly consistent, reliable, recognizable, and remarkable. The problem around building systems is that when you have a founder-led business, founders often feel that pull to have to do everything, right, from top to bottom. And that's not the case. You need to build systems because they can grow and flow without you. That gives you the space and the capacity to go out and lead with your vision the way that you should. Because if you have to do everything, then you become the bottleneck. And if you're the bottleneck, that's the reason that your business can't grow. So no matter what industry, you have to take time to document the steps you take to build the right systems into your business that you can pass along to the next person on your team, on your staff, and so that you can actually grow. And if you're doing this correctly, it's reflecting your taste and it's building your brand at the same time. So listen, this ain't just me talking about systems because it's the cool thing to talk about when it comes to building a big business and a big brand. No, I actually lived through it. And this is a prime example of implementing systems so that your business can grow. When it came to making juice for my business, I used to do all of it. Even after I hired my staff, I used to press all of the juice. That was absolutely not sustainable. I can't spend all of my time prepping produce and pressing the actual juice and then bottling the juice. No way, because I'm needed elsewhere in my business for higher leverage things. So I started documenting the whole process, and I created this juice prep calculator. So this is the actual live calculator, and this has every single recipe. So all I have to do is train my staff on how to go through this spreadsheet, and then we go over the process and they learn how to produce the right amount of juice. All they got to do is log right in. So I set up a system that I can just pass right off to my team, and now they took over the show, right? They have no problem with it. For some people, it's fun. For some people, okay, I don't like it. But what really helped was not only did I train them, I trained everybody across the staff so that nobody experienced the same burnout that I did. So no one person had to press all of the time. No one person had to bottle or prep all of the time. Everything was covered across the whole team. And now it creates a chemistry that you know is flowing behind the scenes while you out leading the charge, doing the things that keep the money coming in, that expand the brand and make the partnerships. That's the space that you want to be in as a founder. And that's why it's so important for you to set up systems. Now, the second T in the TASTE framework is all about tools. You want to make sure you have the best tools, but it's not just about buying the best tools. It's about having the right tools for what you need to execute in your business. So depending on your industry, this could look like physical equipment. We're talking about machinery. Your location, if it's brick and mortar, that's a part of your physical equipment because you have to pay for it. You have tables, you have desks. Then you have your hardware, your electronics. You got your laptops, your tablets, your cameras, your payment processing tools, your monitors if you're doing like a digital media company, lights. All of these things are a part of your tool set. You got to have that toolkit because you're going to have to replicate this. You're going to have to know the pricing. You have to know the budgeting, right? So here are some of the things that I actually asked myself to help me streamline and be more efficient when it came to tools. What can I rent? What are the things that I should own? Should I actually buy this? Should I invest in this tool? Can I use it for multiple uses? Can I leverage it across multiple use cases and possibly make more money off of it as a signature asset within my business? Can I resell it if I don't need it anymore? Can I buy it used but in good condition, right? Is this going to be a customer-facing tool? If it is, then we need a premium version of this. You have to ask yourself questions about the tool. Don't just go research something and judge it based on price alone. And then the last part is about your tech stack. Depending on what your business is or your industry, tech stack may be the first thing. What's the AI softwares you're going to use? What's your CRM? What's your email client? How do you communicate across your staff? Do you guys use Slack? Are you doing email? Do you have a WhatsApp? So you need to understand all of the tools within your business. And the tools should fit your taste, because some things don't work easy across your staff. Is it something that needs to be user friendly, easy to use and understand, like Notion? Do you have higher level employees where you have to use something like Airtable? You have to evaluate these things thoroughly in your business. Having the right tools is going to make a lot of the systems in your business flow well. And it's going to be a great representation for how you engage with your staff and also with your customers. All of these things matter in your tech stack. So knowing the right tools, making the right judgment, and keeping a list of it. You want to keep a list of the actual tools that you use, so that if you have a second in command, you got a COO, you can pass it off and say, hey, we need a new, they hit you up and say, hey, we need a new XYZ. Okay, here's our equipment list. Here's a link directly to it. You can get it at XYZ supplier. Make it easy so that your business flows well. That's a demonstration of good taste internally and externally in your business. And the last phase of this framework is all about experience. How do customers experience your brand? How do they engage with your brand? This is the opportunity for you to enhance your business in the market. This is really where you get the wins that turn people from just customers into clients, and clients into fans, and fans into like evangelists for your business. That's the path that you want to be on. And there's a way to do that within any industry, service, and every type of product. You absolutely have to make yourself memorable to your customers and your clients, because if they remember and enjoy the experience, then that's when they start to recommend you to other people. That's when they start to come back. Like they say, people won't remember what you said, they remember how you make them feel. That applies to your business as well. And if you're hiding behind a generic brand and business, then the experience is going to be dampered and people won't remember it so much, because you're not offering the experience. It's more cut and dry and transactional, whereas though you want it to be transformational and enlightening. Now, these are just a few opportunities where you can enhance the experience for your customers. Onboarding, check-ins, progress updates. Here's where we are with your XYZ service. Here where we are with shipping for a certain product. Exclusive offers. You send coupon. You send exclusive behind-the-scenes dinner invites or live streams that only certain people get to come to. These are exclusive offers and different ways to enhance the experience of your brand and your business. It's a bigger bonus if the founder actually shows up, because that's who everybody wants to see. That's who everybody wants to engage with. And you don't have to show up solo. You can have your team there to help you moderate. You can have them there to engage with the customers along the way. Now you're elevating their brand within the business, and it just becomes a whole big synergistic event, and people love it. Think of the Genius Bar. Nobody did this until Apple did it. You have Microsoft stores now, but nobody took the digital tech experience and made it a real live thing until we had Apple's Genius Bar or the developer conference, right? So people look forward to this twice a year, but Apple have their developer conference. They're going to introduce new software updates, new products. It's a really big deal. This is an experience because they don't just drop the new product. They don't just send out emails or run ads that they're going to have a new product. No, they bring it to the people in real time. You register, you sign up, you do whatever you got to do. You get special invites. That's how you build significant experiences that separate you from any and everybody else in your business, in your industry, especially in your market. This is so easy to do in your market because if you got a local business, most people aren't taking these next level steps. So keep that in mind, okay? I'm going to show you exactly what I did in my juice bar. So, for example, in my fitness brand, because I had to go beyond the juice, right? So I'm studying the landscape. I'm seeing what's out there. And I'm like, oh, the people who are coming here are interested in improving their health, their looks, their fitness, their well-being. So we hosted free fitness events. So we had personal trainers come through. We had yoga instructors come through. We hosted run events. This was right here, live in front of the store. So we did all of these things from our home base, from our prime location in Mount Vernon, which is like Midtown Baltimore. And then we even had nutrition classes for the Baltimoreans, like, yo, let's learn a bit more about nutrition. So we had master classes around plant-based food, plant-based health. Are you trying to make the transition? Or are you just trying to incorporate some new things? I have a certification, but instead of me just saying, hey, I'm certified, I know what I'm talking about, you need to listen to me. No, I break it down. I made it easy. I made it digestible. I put it on some slides. I send them the slides. All of the info is here. It's yours. It's free. Let's get to it. Let's learn. Let's grow. Let's do it together. Okay? Or we had signature pop-up shops. I told you about the merchandise, right? I can't just say, oh, it's good. Go online and get it. Bring it to the people. Let them come through. Let them touch it. Let them see the quality. Let them see if that green really hit like the same green in their Jordans. Do they want to match it with their outfits? You got to think about the people who are investing and supporting in your business. Think about their whole day to day. Where does your business, where does your brand come into their day, to their week, life, month, year, right? If you're an accountant, you might only see your people every quarter. You might only see your people once a year. Every year, you need to be elevating that experience when they engage with your business. Now, I just demonstrated how I use all 5 of these elements to grow my business, become more profitable, and scale my brand. And you could do the exact same thing. So I want to invite you to take the Founder Brand Scorecard. It's a free assessment that measures how you're showing up across all 5 of the pillars I just broke down in this video: trust, assets, systems, tools, and experiences. It takes about 3 minutes, and at the end, you'll see exactly where you're strong and exactly where you're leaving money on the table. Click the first link in the description to get your free score. Now you can start to elevate your brand, charge premium prices, make more margins, higher profit, and start to grow from that stuck position you was just in yesterday. So let's get that fixed. Click the first link in the description. And if you found this video valuable, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll check you out in the next one.